Hey everyone, it's baze.djunkiii transmitting from Hamburg, Germany, back with a new video and back with what is like at this moment the final chapter of a series of videos I started like, I don't know, a year ago or 1.5 years ago, dealing with records by bands and projects I've seen live throughout my career as a punter, as a press person, as a guy who goes out to nightclubs and concerts for like, I don't know, more than half of my life right now. So I don't know, been to my first rave in 92. It's 2020 right now, so 28 years, like seeing shows, seeing bands and stuff, and seeing DJs as well. But we're focusing on live this time, and as we have in the whole series, I will link the other video, or like one of the other videos, in the end card of this video. And yeah, let's go straight into this. To cut this short, the first one is more like a project and not a band. Fauna Flash on Compost Records, with a great title, Please May I Sniff Your Klompen Klokken, which is one of my favorite track titles ever, and really beautiful. As you can see, there was a price tag on there which I tried to remove, not very successfully. And what this is like trip hop meets acid, kind of. So very unusual combination, kind of. One of the best records in that style and one of the best records on Compost Records ever. From back in 95, 96 maybe, I don't know, but here it is. And I've seen Fauna Flash live when they made a transformation to drum and bass, actually, and like drum and bass related styles. When they played at the Tempelhof in Hamburg back in the days, this was like, I don't know, late 97, 98 maybe, so around that era. And there was a showcase set up by, I guess, Public Propaganda, which took care of the promotion for the Compost label back in the days, and there was a new Fauna Flash records out. And I saw them live with more of a drum and bass set. And what is fascinating about this record is that it works, I guess, on 33 as well as on 45. So if you love Wing's higher set of consciousness, like Josh Wing's like acid breakbeat classic, and like transfer this music into like more of a trip hop context, this is what this is. Fauna Flash, May I Sniff Your Klompen Klokken, an EP on Compost Records, actually. The next one is more indie. 206 is the band's name. The album's name is Republik der Heiserkeit. It's out on Richie Records. And a while ago, I guess like in 2011 or whatever, I reviewed this album, and then the band played a showcase at the Turmzimmer at Hamburg's Übel und Gefährlich in the bunker in St. Pauli, where it's like a few clubs in there and a radio station and stuff. And I was kind of invited to go to that show by the promo agency, so I did. And this was pretty good. It's like German indie meets post-punk, more on a post-punk, destructive post-punk tip, kind of. And live they had one of the loudest snares I ever heard in a band. So very interesting, very intense, but unfortunately the show wasn't that well attended. So and to be honest, it was pretty much empty. I don't know why. Maybe because it was summer. I guess it was summer. Or because the show wasn't promoted that much, or the band wasn't that popular. I don't know. But here's the inlay. All the lyrics on there. The lyrics are also like pretty angsty, kind of, but in German. And yes, some are kind of ironic a little bit. And yeah, 206, Republik der Heiserkeit. Very intense, good stuff. Really recommend it, but I guess it got lost somewhere around, or in the indie hype or post-indie hype of this days, when indie was kind of over, and other bands in this like existentialist, post-punk wave, whatever angsty style were more popular. So a lost gem, kind of. 206. Get this. The next one is a given, because Frittenbude. Yeah, one of the bands that was with Audiolied, or is still with Audiolied, a label I was like working for and working with a while ago. And when this, around the time when this came out, the vinyl of this was released via Reptile recordings or Reptile Records, so Audiolith only did the CD version and digital, and the cover was like, I guess, by CIA Alex, which is one of the Golden Poodle guys or associates in Hamburg. And yeah, I was like, through my association with Audiolith back in the days, I got to know these guys with Martin, who is also active as Badstream on his End Time label. I'm still in touch, and very occasionally, every few years, I run into one of the other guys, although they are not from Hamburg. This is like the biggest German electropunk classic of the 2000s, I gotta say. So this is a essential album for that style, capturing the vibe, a lot of rave vibe, very energetic, very festival oriented, kind of Dada-esque, but also deep vocals. Nachtigall by Frittenbude. Yeah, and I saw them live a few times at the Übel Gefährlich in Hamburg. And when we did our Plutonium Pogo parties, which was like me with Lars of Audiolith fame, we did like a party series, event series together. We had Frittenbude playing at the old Molotov, which was the last like very small club show in Hamburg with like 300 people, sold out. And after that they went like bigger, way bigger venues. And I also played with them in Lübeck, or DJ'd with them the after show party when they were at the Lüneburg, I always mix up these two cities. When they were playing at the Treibsand location, I did like a breaks meets techno after show, which was like intense and very great and well received by the people. So yeah, this is one of the bands I've seen live as well. And we're gonna stay with Audiolith for a reason, for 2 albums actually, because this is cheating. Because having like bands of labels you worked with is like easy, but this is also German electropunk, rave electro, whatever. 8000 Mark by Supershirt. 8000 Mark was one of the big hits of the German like electropunk era, like 2006, 7, 8, 9 or whatever. Like really massive. And we also had Supershirt playing at the Molotov for sure, and I've been touring with them with my ex-girlfriend as well, and we were like playing a few shows together. And yeah, nice guys. The band broke up, they kind of evolved, or like there were only 2 guys on stage. Then later on, when I had left the label due to well, circumstances, let's say, I saw them again, or they had like a guitarist as well, which didn't sit that well with me musically, I guess. But yeah, the band dissolved, and now the guys are working regular jobs, I guess. But this was one of the, well, most intense times when it comes to setting up concerts and stuff, with the being associated with Audiolith and with the guys as well. And there is like a nice artsy inlay, so electropunk, like electro German Dada lyrics, kind of yeah, very zeitgeisty at this time. So here's all the lyrics as well, and I guess I haven't looked into this record for ages, so there is also a poster, which I don't know, sometimes when there's stuff in records I don't unfold them. Oh, there's a lot of stuff in there, so I never took this out actually. So this is a big 8000 Mark poster, and 8000 Mark was like a kind of running gag in terms of, so here's a sticker as well. What's the price of whatever? This is 8000 Mark, which refers to 8000 Deutschmark, which was like hilarious because it was Euro time, and there's also a fake 8000 Mark note, so but you cannot pay with this, but this was like spread in the clubs and stuff. So yeah, and there's also tour dates, I guess, and Hamburg Molotov, yeah, at the 15th of October 2009, I guess, if you can see this right. So yeah, a lot of good memories, but also like not a like very happy ending with that kind of work relationship, kind of, but whatever. Also a Audiolith record released via Audiolith. This is Ira Atari. Shift, which was one of the artists which had like the biggest mainstream potential, I guess, for the label. Ira is not only a very good singer and like devil on stage, but also a very talented piano player actually. And my idea back in the days was when that we would, with the label, like release a double album with like her like also more dancey, pop oriented, but also electro-punky tracks, and also like a second version with like piano versions of her tracks and stuff on the second CD, and then like put her on tour not only in clubs but also in more like sophisticated venues as a piano player with a microphone only, like a solo entertainer show in a for a more adult audience, I guess, which didn't work out because well, the label mainly had other plans for her, and she's still around, I guess, doing stuff and music with her boyfriend. But I saw her on a few occasions, like also in the Hafenklang in Hamburg, and I don't know if she was playing the Molotov, but I guess at the Audio Lead Fest in Bielefeld, where I also DJ'd back in the days. So yeah, Ira Atari, another audio lead artist I've seen live, but now we're done with those. But let's move to another band promoted by another label I've worked with and stuff, and this is Reptile Youth, a Danish band. There's also, I haven't put this out because this is a test press white label, also with the press info on, like the whole press info sheet in the back still. And this was their self-titled debut album, and they were like a big sensation when this came out, kind of, because of their track Speed Dance, which was like an anthem, like a very wild, very popular hipster hype tune in the whole blogosphere, I guess, when before this came out. This was also released as a single. And the label I worked for, or the label group, which was also associated with the Hafen music label, where this was released, because the company I worked at was a kind of mothership for like a few labels, including Hafen. And they released the album, which I don't have in the original, like full artwork version, but only as a test press, limited to, I don't know, 30 or 40 copies, I guess. And when they were playing in Hamburg at the Knust, I was there with the whole label crew, met the guys, really nice. After the show, we went like drinking in Meine Kleinraum Disco, which was back in the day, which was my favorite club bar to go, and which was run by a friend of mine, kind of, which unfortunately sold the place and works now in other places, but this was my favorite place to go. We went there with turntable as well, I guess I mentioned this. And we had a few drinks and stuff, really nice guys, very good indie, very anthemic, but unfortunately after this album the band kind of disappeared. I don't know if they disbanded actually, but this was like a lot of promotion went into this album, and I guess a lot of promotion money, but there was no really hype, or like not really a longevity with this band after the initial hype. So unfortunate, I guess. The next one more electronic, but also like Electro Clash Italo Disco-E, one of my favorite picture discs ever. And what happened here? Isn't this great? And this one exactly looks like it sounds, kind of glitzy, glamoury, cheesy. It's Hong Kong Counterfeit, for sure, the Metal Disco EP, which were, I don't know, from the States, I guess. And this was released on Muna Industries, Erkrankung durch Musik, a Munich-based label. And they, like, when Electro Clash, the whole Blockhouse, pre-New Rave thing was like bubbling. And there was one promoter in Hamburg which was a big fan, and he booked them to a club at the Hamburger Berg, which is now a part of this metal club called, I tend to forget, but back in the day I guess it was a gum club, and Hong Kong Counterfeit was playing live there, and I was like really hyped because, well, I love the sound. This is like a 2002, 2003 version of Italo Disco with like all this bubblegummy cheesy vocals and glitzy electronic things and stuff. And I was there with my girlfriend at the time, but unfortunately the promotion went haywire, I guess, or the band wasn't that popular as the promoter like thought, because there were only like 30 people there or something like that. But yeah, Hong Kong Counterfeit, Metal Disco, my favorite picture discs ever. And this time with this album we're going back to like non-vocal electronic music, more like experimental stuff. Pole 2, the second album by Stefan Bitke on KIF SM, actually very interesting. I don't know if you can see this right, but there is a like reflective lacquer on the album here for the title and stuff, and also for the tracklist. And this is essentially, this is dub, or a variation of dub. I don't know. There's all the double album are in the in this like reddish sleeves and stuff. And Stefan Bitke became popular as like Pole because after one of his gigs, this is like an urban myth kind of, but he told the story in many interviews, so I suppose this is true. The promoter wasn't able to pay him, and instead of getting money, he was like given a synthesizer, which was kind of broken, as he discovered. And it was broken in the way that when he turned it on, it made like a sequence of repetitive click noises, but these rhythms changed and varied whenever he turned it off and on again. So this was like a rhythm generator that was not a rhythm generator, but originally a synthesizer. And he discovered that he could record those like clicks and cuts and noises, which were not like following a like time frame or whatever, but they appeared, and he looped those and had them meandering, and started to play like kind of dub influenced bass things and echoes and stuff around them. So he used the synth as a rhythm generator, rhythm machine, for a new kind of electronica dub pioneering stuff. And yeah, I saw him live when he played, I don't know what the location was called, but it was like an illegal club venue that was somewhere in Hamburg Sanzenviertel, in the basement of a building that has now been broken down, or at least refurbished, and it has been like that for like minimum of 16 years or whatever. And he was booked there to play at a party, and this was very intense and interesting. I really loved this, but the club had to close down because they started to spread flyers all around the city, and also in a special place, in a special like electronic chain store thing where all the techno flyers were, and the guys from the authorities who were like in charge of like taking care of nightlife, and that everything in nightlife is like correct and properly announced, and like all the like security measures are in place and stuff, found their flyers when they had like a flyer for, I don't know, a big Detroit DJ there, I guess maybe Derek May, I'm not too sure because it's too long ago, but then they found out about this illegal venue and they closed the venue down, so this Detroit act couldn't play there. But a few months before, I saw like Stefan Bitke, aka Pole, playing there in a like event thing, so it was like really a live set, but yeah, more like chill outy and like dub bass music stuff. And yeah, this was it. And another one I haven't seen around very often for some reason is this one, and you might recognize this, but this is the full triple vinyl pack of Underworld's Born Slippy. Yeah, that Born Slippy, which was famously used in Train Spotting and stuff. And I have seen a similar cover design with only like a 12-inch and like 2 mixes, but actually when I bought this, and I will only take like one out because they all look kind of the same. There are like 3 12 inches in there with like remixes, one more like drum and bassy remix by Darren Price, the drum and bass mix by Alex Reese, the deep mix, Born Slippy Nooks, very like, yeah, like some variations in there. And I saw Underworld playing live at, I don't know if it was the Mojo still, like the old Mojo, or the Mandarin Casino, and they had a show there, and I was attending this as a kind of press guy, and this was like take me back to my mid-90s rave days immediately, not only for Born Slippy but also for a lot of other tunes they played, and very intense, good to see them live. And yeah, I don't know if it's one of the best concert or live experiences I ever had, but it was like one that took me back in the 2000s to the energy of the mid-90s within seconds. So Underworld, Born Slippy pack, I saw them live in Hamburg as well. And the final one I saw more recently, this is War Girl on Clouds Hill, which is was released in 2018. The album's name or EP's name is called Abolita. And actually I saw them in a very special context because I don't know, I guess I've done a video about that. I was invited by the press people who did the promo for this one when they were like having War Girl in Hamburg for a while. And they did a live recording session with audience for a live EP in the Clouds Hill studios. And I was invited to come there as were like, I don't know, 50 or 60 other people. And I went there with a friend, and this was really intense, really great, good night out, good chats and stuff. Great to see a band record live and play live. So they did just only like one show. They did like, I guess, 2 days in a row. They did a whole live set of the album. And this is like kind of post-punk meet Afro-funk. As a reference, take Shuzi and the Banshees, and take also the Slits, kind of Afro-funk with a post-punk vibe, with like a with a kind of like Afro-vibey twist, kind of very, very groove-oriented, very intense, lovely stuff. I love to listen to this, have to listen to this again. And yeah, this was the final of the 10 records of bands I've seen live, the final episode of this series for now. So I don't know if I see more bands live in the future because of the COVID thing and stuff, but yeah, these are the records, and I hope you like this. If you like this one, like, check out my social media stuff down in the description box. Leave a like, leave me a comment, subscribe, notification bell, hit me up on whatever platform you like, and I'm gonna see you on the next one. See you later.